All right, so there's this white woman. I've posted her I reacted to her video before, where she did a similar topic to what I'm doing now. She was talking about her reaction to lonely men, and she was really one of the only women I saw who was more empathetic to the plight of so-called lonely men and men exiting themselves out of the dating game. So now she's at it again with, I guess I don't know if these are colleagues or just random women, but these are women's reaction to lonely, single, sexless men. So let's see what women are having to say about this shit.
Sexless men, but instead of just me talking about it, since I've already covered this pretty in depth on my channel, I wanted to bring other girls on and get their opinion, what they think's going on, if they think women play any type of role in this.
And of course, women don't play any kind of goddamn role in it, because I've been looking at other articles and they don't even blame women. And they already done the stats. They already know the stats that 2/3 of men are sexless, or single, sexless. What was it? It was like 2/3 of the men were like single sexless or something, and then like 1/3 I forgot. Damn it. Let me find that damn article. It was like what? Yeah, more than 60% of young men are single, twice the rate of unattached women. So how the fuck are all these men single, yet when it comes to women, only like a third of them, only a third of them are single? That doesn't make any damn sense. So obviously it shows that women are sharing, but they don't want to get into that. Women are sharing men.
So I'm sitting down with 7 girls today and we're going to be talking all about it. Let's get into it. So studies are showing that there's a decrease in men having sex. So a third of men under the age of 30 are sexless. And there's also a rise in lonely single men. If you had to guess...
Now don't expect sympathy from women or them trying to give this easy going answer of, oh my God, that's so sad. These men need... No, don't expect... It's going to be... What they're going to try to do is that they're going to try to they're going to switch it up to where they're going to say that the sexlessness is a punishment for fuck. They're gonna say that it's a punishment for the fuck boys, even though you're not a fuck boy yourself.
Why do you think this is the case?
I think dating is a lot different than it was back then, especially with social media and everything that's going on. I think men also these days too are sometimes more afraid to talk to women than they used to, I guess.
Because there's so many social politics, there's so many mores and frustrations of nuclear rejection. Yeah, ladies, this is something you've created. You created this monster. But please go on.
But I don't know. I was just talking to a friend about this. I think just dating in general has completely shifted. It's harder now. It's a lot harder to have genuine connections or even people you want to hook.
No, the thing is that you guys want to jerry rig shit to where you're trying to force the select fuckboy to be this heart suave, romantic, suave guy, and he doesn't give a fuck about it. He's a young 22-year-old guy, not trying to commit. He's just using you, and you feel so ashamed. Like, wait, how are you using me? I'm this pretty woman. I have tons. I've turned down tons of guys for you. The least you can do is claim me. And he's like, no. You guys do this to yourselves. You're not giving the non-select guy. You're not even with you claiming that you're chasing the bag and you're chasing the guys with bags. You're not even chasing those guys, because why are these educated lames single? Because you're still trying to put the superstar look and the money, and it's like, oh well, fuck the money. He just doesn't look appealing.
With Tinder and Bumble and all that stuff. So that would be my answer.
I really think it's because women stopped caring about douchebags. And I know that's not...
Well, if that was the fact, why are all these educated lames single? Why are all these educated non-select guys single? That's the issue. It's not the guys who are fuck boys. The fuck boys are still being fuck boys. They're still having sex. They're still having fun. They're not losing sleep. The guys that are losing sleep over being sexless is the guys who are non-select. So again, this fake punishment of the fuck boys isn't going anywhere. If fuck boys were really, forget it. But this is just a feminist talking point, just to make it seem like, oh, women are up in this high scale, they're up top, and these guys are so lowly in the dirt where they're only thinking about sex, and that's the reason why, they're not getting any, which is completely false.
The best word to use.
A lot of these chicks are very easy, at least for select guys. These chicks put up a good front for us non-select guys. They'll have us thinking that they're the most hardest woman to approach. They'll have us thinking that we have to make 6 figs, that we have to get this nice car and do all of this, be educated, be responsible, be older, and go through like 6 years of establishing and self-improvement, all for her to come back as a single mom and then try to mercy you on why she's a better woman now. Fuck you.
Guys that don't put in effort and don't care and don't want to actually value women for who they are gonna be lonely because... Wrong.
Come on. You never been in high school, you may be in college too, to where the guy that was putting in the effort got nothing. The guy that was putting the most effort got nothing. You're telling me you never seen that? That's cap.
Women are becoming a lot more independent, and they're becoming...
Yeah, here we go.
A lot more confident in being themselves, that they don't need no man, so...
Yeah, need no man. You can tell she has a couple black female friends. Ain't got no need no man. Goofy as hell.
I find that rise probably comes from those guys that don't want to...
No, it's just women and their narcissism. It's not like all these women are making 6 figures. It's not like all these women are kicking ass. It's not like all these women were doing all this shit. You guys refuse to put equal terms. Hey, the guy that's working in the same company that you're afraid to level, put yourself in his shoes or level him, or compare and contrast with people who work in your company. What you guys do is constantly look at the dusty dude. He ain't got 2 pennies to rub, live with his mom, and then be like, oh, that's all men right there. That's all men. They're just broke, lowly, and dusty. But you'll be the same female asking dudes for money out of the blue that you're not even committed to. So who's really independent?
Extra effort and actually put their pride aside and make a woman feel loved.
Yeah, tell that to the non-select guy who is constantly giving girls flowers and doing these little cutesy poems and all that shit, and he gets nothing out of it. tell that guy about how great his effort is and in his award. He gets nothing.
I feel like a lot of it might have to do with maybe like working remote, since we're all so I feel like I'm at home a lot more than like I ever was before, and like since I work remote personally, like not going out and meeting as many people like through like work friends or like going out as much, I feel like people just aren't interacting.
Trust me, men are pretty muchly happy that you guys are working remotely with all this sexual harassment and all these dumbass HR meetings we have to attend, and learning new mores on how to treat you guys and talk to you guys. I think you guys staying at home is really the best next thing. So we're not missing you guys
As much as like they used to be on the day-to-day, like physically people were just like messaging on Snapchat and Instagram.
So less like in-person human interaction, and everything's kind of moving towards being online.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then I also feel like women are just being more selective over like how they want to be treated, and how like with social media, I feel like it's so easy to compare like what other relationships, like what they're doing, like what kind of experiences like a couple's going through, like, oh, they're on this nice like luxurious vacation, and like this man doesn't want to like take me on that, so like screw him or something in a way.
So first and foremost, I would say pornography has something to do with it, just because it's so easily accessible that men don't really have to like put in the effort.
This is bullshit. I think this is bullshit. I kind of believe it, but then I don't, because it'll get boring, and dudes are wanting to ask for something physical. I think this is a cop out that women like to fucking do about, oh, it's pornography, and it's like, what? And who's supplying the shit? You guys. It's a cop out.
To go out and seek a mate when they can just like do it at the comfort of their space. I would say another reason is just the work and personal life balance. People are obviously too ambitious now, which is a great thing, but to like keep up with the economy and the demanding lifestyle, it's kind of hard to maintain a nice work and personal life balance, and men don't really see the worth in going out to find a potential mate.
Okay, she's stuttering a little bit, but I get what she's saying. She's right. She's right. There's no benefit, and this is finally a woman that's honest. I wish she was a little bit more confident when she speaks, but yeah, she's right. There's no benefit. You know, there's no reason for me to Friday, tomorrow is Friday, I'm gonna go out to the bar and see who's there. And it's like, honestly, hey, even if I see a cute face, 9 times out of 10, she's already with somebody, with a group. And do I really want to risk nuclear rejection? Do I really want to risk talking to somebody else's woman? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And then looking at, success stories, and, there's really just no reason. Hey, there's just no reason, especially for non-select guys. You're basically, it's an uphill battle, because you're fighting against trying to find a woman that can accept you. And as a non-select guy, her friends are going to be the main components of trying to get you, or get her away from you. Even if you check all the boxes, even if you have your own place, have a car, all that, this, that, and third, they will do their fucking best to separate you from her. And they'll tell her that even if they can't find any bad reason, they'll just say, oh, he works too much, and he's not gonna have time for you. And it's like, wait, it's like, and the stupid thing is that the female will believe it. She'll believe anything her friends will tell her, and then she'll just say, fuck you, I'll find someone else. You don't have the time for me. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. I just planned X amount of dates for you. I'm here every week. So how the fuck do I not have time if I'm doing this every week? So female friends are definitely the buzzkill for non-select guys in the dating world.
They would just rather spend that energy on working towards their goals and ambitions. So just like a busy working life.
Incels?
Oh God, I knew something was wrong when this bitch was gonna start crying. Oh, it's the incels. It's these dangerous men. Like I said before in another video, the last mainstream incel attack was in the UK. Before that, it was in Canada. There hasn't been a mainstream incel attack in what 6 years, 5. I don't even know. There hasn't. It's been a while, and surprised. Like again, I thought, according to all the experts, the FBI, even the military, they were supposed to say that there was supposed to be an uptick in incel attacks. You know, especially due to the Joker movie. There was supposed to be an incel attack. Nothing happened. There was supposed to be some incel resurrection or insurrection during COVID. Nothing happened. So how long are you going to keep blaming the so-called mythical, dangerous, non-select guy? When in actuality, it's these select fuckboys who are hurting women. It's guys like R. Kelly who can do what he does, and there's still public opinion on whether or not he's innocent. It's not these non-select guys that you guys read about in your little dumbass sex ed courses about fucking, or gender study courses about some ugly dude who lives in a basement full of pictures of girls that he secretly took photos of and secretly plans to kill them off because they rejected him. It's a myth, okay? It's a fucking myth. You have all these dudes who are sexless in their freaking 20s. There should be hundreds of Elliot Rodgers roaming around plotting. How come these dudes are just sitting down calmly? Huh? How can you explain that? But you're gonna tell me that there's some dangerous incel guy waiting to kill you. This is the problem when you have women who believe that the world revolves around their stupid ass.
Reddit? 4chan?
Look at the shrugs. Of course she's not confident in what she says. Of course she doesn't believe. She's just going off of buzzwords. Incel. Just repeat some bullshit that every liberal says. Incel. So fucking annoying.
I think it's largely a them problem, would be my guess.
I don't know. I feel like post-pandemic, people don't interact with each other as much.
Say women. Don't say people, say women, because women aren't the ones trying to interact with people, interact with guys. Because you have all these guys. Because if that was the case, you have all these guys on these dating apps trying to reach out to women and they get nothing. They try to talk to you, you get nothing. So it's not like it's guys being shallow, it's women.
This is kind of off topic, but when I used to walk down the street, I would always be like, oh my God, you're so pretty. Or hello to people, and just talk to people. And I feel like now that's not really happening. I think people are more drawn into themselves.
Women.
And I don't know why it's still like that.
Women narcissism. They expect you. They get a kick out of rejection. They get a kick out of seeing a guy do the most for them, and then he gets little to no reward. And then she just throws him off to the side and hopes that he kills himself. That's women's logic. That's how women like to see guys do. They like to see guys go on this freaking hamster wheel, this little mouse trap, this little mouse maze, and see us go through all these fucking hoops, only to realize that the cheese is poisoned.
I think the internet too, obviously there's a community for this. I feel like people are kind of getting more hateful. I don't know. It's just...
Oh gosh, she wants to blame incels so bad, but she doesn't know what they're called.
Things are changing. I think people need to open up more. If it's a choice, that's fine. I don't think everyone needs to have a super high sex drive. I personally don't have a super high sex drive, so if someone's not super sexually active, does not matter to me.
Yeah, it's not about the sex, man. It's about linking up. It's not about the sex, because you can have the fun sex life, you can have the everyday sex life with one person. It's not about that.
All. But it's hard. Is it by choice? Is that what we're speaking of, or just...
So I think a lot of it is by choice. I can just give you some other reasons why. Social media definitely is one of them, I think. Porn, I think, is also one of them. Young marriage on the decline. People are waiting until they're a little bit older to get married. Also, what you said about interacting with people on the street, I think a lot of men are becoming hesitant and scared to approach women. Just in general, you see all these videos online of women posting when men say hi to them and they're repulsed by it, or they get really upset. Like at the gym, if a guy approaches a girl at the gym, they get really upset. So I think there's a lot of things that are tying into this, but it's interesting to hear, like, from someone on the outside that isn't so, like, doing this for work, like, why you would think that this is happening.
I feel like the internet also gives people unattainable ideas. And I wonder if these statistics are coming out just because more people are saying that they are not sexually active because of the internet. Like, I wonder if it's always been like this, but now people are really banding together and being like, yeah. Obviously we're living in a time as well where you don't have to get married and have kids by the time you're 24, so that's off. Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Well, I think
it's just really funny how women they don't know what's going on, and they're just, I won't even say they're playing dumb. I legitimately think they just don't know what's going on, and it's just their drone nature, their beehive nature of just being blissfully unaware of things. And it's just their beehive nature. Kind of lost my place as I make a text, but let's.
There's a rise in celibacy among women that I've noticed on social media.
Yeah, but it's last minute celibacy because this is what women are doing. So women are trying to erase their fucking their teen years, their teen to mid 20 years, or college years. And then once they kind of find new people in their 30s, they want to be celibate all of a sudden. They want to kind of like trick, because this is their ego of trying to make you believe that, oh, this pretty woman hasn't been kept. She's this Christian woman. She's this woman who's strong on her knees, and she's looking for X, Y, Z. And I'm just like looking at this shit. It's like, what's the point of this old bag celibacy? That's what I'm going to call it. Old bag celibacy. What's the point of this shit? Now all of us, because now the only reason they're doing this is because non-select guys who have been doing the same thing by accident, they assume that those women are a match, but those same women are still giving those guys hell. They're still not giving those guys chances. So it's the same hamster wheel going around of seeing non-select guys go through all this fucking maze, go through this whole fucking maze, and get nothing out of it. It's just another trick, man.
So I think that would relate to why more men are going sexless. And then also people are just becoming more comfortable with being alone, probably because of the pandemic, which isn't a bad thing, but...
No. If that was the case, these dudes wouldn't be trying to off themselves. If this was the case, the manosphere would be talking about how to train your girlfriend rather than how to get one. It's not that.
I mean, human connection is also a good thing.
Women are antisocial, and dudes are trying to reach out, do everything that they can to reach out, and they get nothing for it. So, of course, guys are going to say fuck it and forget it. And now women are just playing innocent and dumb, like, I didn't even understand why guys are not even caring about relationships. I think they just can't do it because women have this high standard and we're just independent and they just can't keep up. They just can't keep up and all that shit.
Maybe we're just like missing that connection that there once was, and there's so many more higher standards now for men and women and just relationships in general. And I think the factors just go like back and forth. So maybe a woman like has not been happy with how she's been treated, or
and whose fault is that? What you go? The thing is, you're gonna put all that frustration on the non-select guy to make him work harder, and like I said, do the maze race or whatever, and then he gets nothing at the end. So that's the problem with women. You're only charging non-select guys for the sins of select fuckboys, and we're tired of that shit.
Doesn't feel empowered by hookup culture, so then she just becomes celibate. So then the man or men are experiencing like less sex in their lives, and then I don't know, it just keeps going like back and forth on the effect of one another.
Do you think that it's all men to blame, or do you think that women play a role in this as well? I mean, because there are a lot of single women too.
Yeah.
See, I hate when she added that there's a lot of single women too, because what they're going to try to pull is that they're going to try to pull and say that guys are picky and they're trying to get the pretty girl and it's leaving the good girl single and alone for it. Like, I fucking hate that interjection that they put at the end.
I don't think it's all men to blame. I just think people are not as good with interacting with each other these days, and they'll go on Tinder or something, to look for a hookup, but that's so much different and harder to connect with people than like back.
Here's the issue with society and hookup culture is that you have non-select guys who are treated like shit since birth, from birth to high school. By the time they get out of high school, they're treated kind of barely normal. This is their first feeling of normal, of getting into society and not feeling like someone's going to punch you out of nowhere. The problem is that you have this prolonged, you've treated this particular person like shit for nearly a decade and a half. And you're magically expecting them, especially with them not dating, they're not given a chance to really social. You're now expecting them to have at least, by the time you're able to talk to girls, it's probably like 12 or 13. Now you're expecting them to kind of jumpstart and get a proper push with puberty in their freaking 20s. And it's like it's a rush. They can't do that shit all. They can't. It's because you're not even going to respect it. You're not going to respect the mid-20s virgin. You're not going to respect the guy that had his first girlfriend at 27. You're creating the very men that you hate because you're not giving these dudes chances to do anything. So now the problem, now you're in this dilemma of guys with little to no experience to guys who have too much experience. And so where are women going to go? The guys that got too much experience. The guys that can get women like that. You create these fucking monsters, man.
You would just meet someone, which I'm not saying you have to just go meet someone on the street, especially because now with the media and stuff, you're scared to meet people in person, like just some guy next to you. You don't want to go home with them because they could be a serial killer and this and that.
Yeah, right. You females, I'm pretty sure there's man, please, females will lose their guard easy with select fuckboys. Women will lose their guard easy. This is cap right here, that women have this high guard, of stranger danger. The only time women apply this bullshit is, yes, non-select guys. That's the only where they apply that bullshit. Be a non-select guy, try to ask for sex at the first night. Oh, I don't roll like that. How dare you? How dare you? I am not getting in your car. I'm not getting in your car. You want me to go in your house? What kind of girl do you think I am? You was just at Rodriguez's house, motherfucking last week. The fuck you acting all uppity and sedity for? Now you want to act like you're this kept-ass woman and shit.
But yeah, I just think as a society and collective, we're not as open to each other anymore. So it is harder to date probably right now. If a guy is sexless, though, I don't feel like they should feel bad about it. I think that pressure also really kills things in the mood for guys, like when you're so worried about it and feeling maybe emasculated or something like that. That can be really tough, but yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I think a woman, kind of like myself, that is independent, hardworking, and knows what she wants, not necessarily plays a game, but keeps her options open and wants to find somebody that truly values her. So I definitely think women do play a factor in it because they could be on some games.
Oh, I feel like it really is your preference. Like if a height's a total deal breaker, then, and you're not going to be comfortable like with somebody that's shorter than you, then you shouldn't go after that, But I think it definitely is valid for whatever is holding someone back from being in a relationship with somebody. I think it's definitely valid reasons.
Personally, I would say women have lower standards than if you would go back in time and look at how high the expectations were from men to provide for women and take care of women. I feel like feminism has brought women to a point where they're able to take care of themselves. So maybe it has something to do with.
Yeah. Now, what's the complaint now is that you guys still want money from men. So you guys will always complain. You guys will always complain. Okay, not to say that you guys are making a lot of money, which you guys aren't. But the thing is with women is that women have this kind of I'm every woman complex. So let's say they go on they watch some TV show, and there's this woman who makes $11 million off of a fashion brand that she just created out of a basement 6 years ago. Every woman will act like they contribute to her success, or that they're that woman one day. They're going to become that woman one day. And so every woman, from the McDonald's worker to the chick who doesn't even have a fucking job, will think she's $1 million. She's an $11 million worth woman.
Women being self-sufficient and not needing a man in
It's false. It's false because it's not. I can even just tackle it on the expense of not even having to do with money. Women aren't going to protect themselves, even with women who are buying guns and tasers and all that shit and taking self-defense courses. They're still not that confident in protecting themselves. They're still not that confident in global in disasters and hurricanes and all that shit. Let a hurricane hit. How many of these women are gonna provide boats to save people and have survival guides? These bitches will be running around the streets buck naked in the rain, crying for help, or trying to drive their car in fucking 8 feet of water. This is why a lot of these dumb women, especially black women, are freaking dying in the cold in New York, because they're dumb enough to get locked to be in a car, let the car freeze over, and get bombarded by 8 feet of snow while the car's running, and then the snow is blocking the exhaust, and then they die from carbon monoxide. It happens every year with these black women. Happens every year. They don't plan shit. Happens every year, man.
Life to provide for them, and therefore not having the need to.
But women don't like paying bills. We already know that. We already see the complaints on TikTok about women crying about paying bills, and it's gotten so bad that women are relying on guys they're not even dating to pay their bills. But please talk to me. Continue to talk to me about their fucking independence.
Sexual relationships with men. So I think it's definitely just our progressive society and not having the.
I'm gonna close this one.